I wish I knew. I don't. I'm not sure I got a great answer for you right now. Obviously, by our body language, by the way we shot it down the stretch, our level of confidence, our level of swagger, whatever you want to call it, we didn't shoot it the way we needed to shoot it down the stretch. We didn't lose the game because we didn't make shots. That's not. I don't want it to be like that. South Carolina's really good, really connected, tough, physical, sound. 25 assists to 9 turnovers, and we pressed most of the game. Man, solid. They can beat anybody in the country when they're playing well. And their zone was really effective. They've only played it a few possessions all season. It's a great call by Coach Paris. And after those first couple offensive possessions, we lost some mojo for sure.
Mike, why were answers so hard to come by in the paint with what they were doing offensively?
I thought that they passed it really well to one another. We probably exerted ourselves a little bit too much with press and with trapping of the post. We were cross-matched at the end of press at times because we were zone pressing back to man. We were doing some switching with Mac because he presents problems with his picking and popping and his ability to stretch you from three. So as we're switching, when he was cross-matched onto guards at times, it required a fire of the post. And then our sprinting out, our rotating out of some of those fires were just a little bit slow. They made us pay late clock a couple times with a couple big daggers. But they do a good job too, just with their passing. Just simple plays. Just they pass it out of a double team. The next guy catches it. He looks to the interior, and they've got big physical guys that get wide, demand the basketball, catch it cleanly, and drew fouls and scored it at point blank. I thought Murray Boyles as a freshman is just a physical presence, a very, very good player. Josh Gray, I thought, was a huge factor off of the bench, going 7 of 19, plus 15. They had their way on the interior.
There was a stretch in that second half where you guys nearly went 8 minutes without a successful shot from the field.
My goodness.
What did you just see as far as the issues that you guys had scoring in that second half?
I think that stretch included, was that all zone? Would you remember? Yeah, and it may have been all of it. You would think that they jumped into it after a basket or two. I don't know that without watching the film, but that was a big factor. Again, Davis stunning, playing cat and mouse with our ball handlers at the top of the key with his length and size. Gray on the interior, Murray Boyles at the nail, and their wings did a good job of preventing us from throwing into the corners. We tried a couple different things. We had 4 guards out there with our 5s. Certainly, I don't know about the first couple possessions, but after that, I thought we had some pretty good looks. And, a zone that's packing the paint to that level sometimes requires you just to step up and make a shot. And we weren't able to do that. Unfortunately, we're a really good shooting team, and we showed that in the first half. Again, a great call by Coach Paris.
RJ Melendez only had 5 shots that he got off today. I think your best plus and minus of your starters. Is it a matter of having a hard time getting the ball in his hands for shots, or other people maybe see a lot of volume with no degree and low percentage?
I thought we did a poor job cutting today. They're really good at defending one-on-one, and we had a few possessions where we over-dribbled it a little bit along the baseline, as I'm sure you guys saw. And as opposed to these guys collapsing and allowing easy kicks, they stay extended, like a few other teams in our league. And we weren't live enough as cutters, active enough as cutters to the rim, or searching to the corner, or searching, just cutting to the top of the key. We did the raise your hand and kind of walk back to half court and throw me the ball, and we get nothing out of that. We tried to play in more continuity stuff today. We tried to keep the tempo up. We thought that would be to our advantage. Is why we pressed, is why we tried to trap in the post. We were a little bit less call heavy. In learning from a couple of the other games here where we've struggled against really good opponents as of late, Tennessee and Bama. If I could have those back going into this game, we probably would have been a little bit more continuity heavy, played more downhill, continued to play like we did offensively in the first half. We tried that today, really sold out to it, and didn't get a lot out of it. So it's trial and error, right? We got to reevaluate this weekend and on Monday and figure out what our best chance is on the road.
Is it fair to say that it was a looser whistle? When I look at the free throws, I've seen disparity between it appears there's a disparity between the way games are called. Is that just common knowledge, like an umpire, some referees are gonna call the game, allow a lot more physicality like today maybe than others?
Yeah, I think each game's different. I do. And I think that the best crews, as a team, have a feel for it and try to be consistent throughout the game. So you just, as players and as coaches, if it feels different, you just got to adjust.
Third straight game that the opponent shot above 50%.
Oh, my goodness.
What's going to change in the defenses?
A lot. Our wall-ups are I know they didn't shoot a ton of free throws, but we had 4 or 5 silly fouls. Our communication, especially and in our guys' defense, we hadn't pressed a ton. I'm not sure that whether we pressed too much or not. I'll have a better answer after I study the film closely. I probably exerted ourselves a little bit too much, and then so in some of our rotations, especially playing from behind there late, some of the baskets were so easy based on, I think, guys just being really fatigued and our level of communication dropped. We got 2 guys running to the ball, and then all of a sudden 2 guys are running away from the ball as opposed to 1 guy yelling ball, or simple stuff, but guys, I think, really tired. Our guys played really hard, and their poise was terrific versus our pressure as we're trying to fly around and just create havoc at the end of the game. Credit their guard play down the stretch, their decisions.
I just want to be clear, they don't play much zone. I mean, that was typically.
No, they've only played a few possessions of zone all year,
Okay.
the entire season. Yeah, I mean, it was a.
Because you said a couple of times, I mean, it was a good move and.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very surprising move. We didn't anticipate seeing much zone, but it's a zone they played early in the season. We spent a little bit more time on it for our game in Columbia, but it was a game that, it's a zone that they had success with last year against. They played it a little bit more last year, and we saw it in here. I want to say we saw it in Columbia last year as well.
This is y'all's longest losing streak of the season. Just what needs to change, get you guys back on track before
Yeah.
having to go on the road to start?
Well, I mean, you can win games a lot of different ways. I mean, we as inefficient as we were defensively at times, you make 4 or 5 of those threes in the second half, you win a game and feel like, hey, we want to get a great win, but we got to defend better. If you defend at a really high level, we could have shot it the way that we did and gotten away with it. So, I mean, we're going to focus on everything. We're going to focus on being the best we can be. We'll meet on Monday, at length, 3 in a row. It's a little, something these guys, we hadn't been through this season, and it'll be heavy film and talking on Monday, and we'll try to talk some things out, long staff meetings, and figure out what gives us, the best chance moving forward. Is it different actions? Is it different tempo? Is it different defensive schemes? Get guys in the shot. We'll do a lot of player development, hoping that we can shoot it better and score it more efficiently and overall, but certainly in the second halves moving forward. We actually made some changes today. We've seen this team come out early second half a little bit lethargic at times, definitely a last couple of home losses, and we made wholesale changes to what we did at halftime today in terms of film, in terms of the time that we give our guys to meet on their own, give our guys to go to the the time that we give our guys to go to their lockers, the time we give them to kind of recharge. Did some different things today, so we'll keep reevaluating those things. We just haven't been quite as sharp in second halves here lately.
You said the other night you've got a group of, guys that are basketball fans, watch the games.
Yeah.
Do you think being in the postseason conversation has maybe taken a toll at all?
I'm not sure. Potentially, yeah. I mean, I thought late game today, just like late game Tennessee, late game Bama, we look like the weight of the world's on our shoulders. We don't look the same. And I've got to figure that out. I got to help these guys. Because if you play to your identity, if you play to the way you played the first 15 minutes of the game for 40, better things are going to happen, right? And what I keep preaching to these guys is let's stop looking at the scoreboard. Let's stop with all of the distractions. There's 9,000 in here screaming for us, and we're not used to the decibel level in this building. Let's embrace it, but let's not rest on it. Let's control what we can control, and South Carolina's doing that at a really high level right now, and we've done that at times. We did that in the first 20, and yeah, we got to reevaluate, and thank goodness, we got 9 more, and then we got an SEC tournament, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, we got in this league in 2024, you got a bunch of great opportunities. Every night's a great opportunity, so we just got to get back to work Monday.
Can I ask a question? Yeah, I was asking, Blue Cane had a moment there, that 9-0 run, he's a freshman,
Yeah.
obviously something to build off of. Where does Blue got to build his game to be, a deeper player minute-wise?
I mean, the way we're defending collectively right now, if there's an argument for a lot of guys, to get more opportunity. He's got to continue to progress defensively as all freshmen do in our league, and then shot selection and ball security, those things. Fouling, we all had ill-advised fouls, but you asked the question, just the reach around, foul, consistency, but he had a good game. He did some good things, and he's got a chance to be a really good player.